right, good morning everyone. Welcome to Symantec Sysadmin. There's an app for that. My name is Brandon Perkins. I'm an IT consultant, Semantic consultant and engineer for ITS. I'm an authorized Semantic consultant. I specialize in endpoint management. I focus mostly on client management, server management, and Semantic's mobile management solutions. ITS is a national and platinum partner with Semantic, meaning that we have great staff that works with Semantic products exclusively. Semantic, we have a very close relationship with Semantic and work with them on all aspects of service delivery and products. We were Semantic's Partner of the Year 2011. Missed it in 2012, but hoping to get that for 2013 year. We've been the Altiris partner for 2 out of the 4 years that it was awarded for Partner of the Year, and we're also a Semantic Master Specialized Partner. Again, you know, we work exclusively with Semantic products, endpoint management, and moving into security solutions. And we're based in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's where our headquarters is, though we have engineers spread out all over the country and everywhere abouts. We are an engineer-centric organization. We are engineer-focused, which means that we're not thinking from a sales perspective. We're thinking from a systems engineering perspective whenever we're out consulting with clients. And we've also got a huge amount of engineers that are working with us that are bringing a whole lot of information back whenever they're out with clients, so that we can communicate together and push ideas together. Basically, trying to get our clients the best answers, best practices as quickly as possible. So today we're here to talk a little bit about semantic system administration with the iPad. Now, I think there's a little confusion about what that means. I've heard people say, "Oh, cool, we're going to be able to run our semantic solutions from within our iPad. They've come out with a native application." I'm sorry, that's not quite what's going on. If there was a misunderstanding, this webinar is going to actually talk about apps that you can use to enhance your administration of some of your semantic solutions, as well as some of your general infrastructure. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the state of mobile. And there's just a whole lot of mobile devices that are coming through in corporations. We're seeing Androids, but let's be real, we're seeing a lot of iOS devices, iPads, iPhones. You know, maybe you have some iPods sitting around somewhere for a lab, or if you're in education or whatnot. Mobile devices are allowing us to get more done, and from anywhere. There's no longer a need to be at your desktop to check email or create a document, or even a laptop for that matter. We have these devices. We can use them. We can put them in our pocket if you're using an iPhone. If you have really big pockets, you might be able to fit an iPad. But there's a lot more we can do mobily. I don't know if that's a word. From a mobile standpoint, than we used to be able to. And with that being said, more powerful tools are becoming available all the time. You know, how many apps are in the App Store now? Over 500,000, closing on 600,000. There's a lot of powerful tools that we can use to administer different services, or read documents, or zip files, or read zip files. And we're kind of going to go through that here today. But the bottom line is these devices need managing, so why not manage your devices with your device? So it's kind of a cool direction that we're heading in. You know, hopefully we'll get some more native applications here in the future with the Semantic products. But for now, we're going to kind of give kind of a solution in the meantime to get that done. So being a Symantec Sysadmin, what does that entail? Well, a lot of times the responsibilities for sysadmins are you're managing your clients and your devices. You're taking inventory of those devices. You're managing those devices, moving them around, checking in on them. You might manage your security infrastructure if you're a Symantec security admin. The virus protection, your SEPM console, your patches, maybe from CMS, all those things, as well as finding solutions to resolve any issues that you're having. There's a lot more that goes into responsibilities of a sysadmin, but there's just not enough time to talk about all of them. So we're going to kind of give an overview of these. I'm not going to go into too much detail about any specific area. This is kind of just a, oh cool, there's a tool that we can use for doing this. So the first thing is the question of, so what? Sysadmins, if you're a sysadmin, you're on call 24/7. Infrastructure needs to be managed all the time. If something goes down, you need some kind of access to fix something. Well, with these mobile devices, with iPads, we can access that infrastructure now basically from anywhere. If you have 3G or even just if you're around a Wi-Fi location, we can do that. You also need to resolve issues very quickly, and again, from anywhere. Say you're out one day, something is going on that management is getting excited about, and we need to remediate it. What's a 45-minute drive to the office? Maybe you can look at it quickly and get into your environment and manage it right from your device. So the first thing that we're going to cover is mobile management. I'm a mobile management specialist, so I always like to touch on this. It's kind of cool. It's Symantec's response to mobile devices. So we're already managing clients in CMS and servers in SMS, server management solution. And now we can manage mobile devices as well. Managing mobile devices, what does that mean? Well, we want to provision those devices. We want to get settings out to users who are bringing the devices into the environment. And we also want to be able to get an overview of those devices. What do we have in our environment? Let's take inventory of it. What can we do with the devices? Well, if you have devices that are getting lost or you have important information on it, then we can manage those devices with locking the devices. We can find GPS coordinates from the device and map it, and we can also add in a little data loss prevention. Making sure that information on those devices doesn't get out to the web using our DLP solution. It's hugely scalable. Again, based off of the Symantec Management Platform, you can go to 20,000 devices on one mobile server. So a great solution for managing these iPads that we're going to talk about today, as well as any mobile devices that you may have out there. Like I said, we're talking about provisioning. The Symantec mobile management application on the iPhone or iPad, iOS devices altogether really provide a great solution for provisioning your email and VPN settings and Wi-Fi, all using one credential. You log into to the mobile application and you pull down a configuration that has the server settings already set up and is pulling the credentials right from the enrollment screen. So a very easy way to get your users. It kind of takes the ease off of you guys. If you're a small environment, it may be helpful because you have maybe you have a lot of employees, but you have no help desk. So each employee that needs their email set up or VPN settings set up, you're having to enter each one of those, each credential for each configuration that you need to do. If you're a large environment, you have a ton of people and maybe a few help desk folk. So those people can push out or guide the users on pulling down the Symantec Management app and helping them get those credentials without having to take a long time of actually provisioning each VPN setting or Wi-Fi setting or email Exchange Active Sync. Cool thing. Again, email provisioning, it's requesting a password, but it's already pulled the username and domain information from the application itself. Just an extra step of security to make sure that you're getting into the correct email. SEP12 for iPad. So this is a cool new app that's come out. Again, you're probably like, oh, SEP12 for iPad. Okay, so we can manage our SEP environment off of this. Or maybe you're thinking, no, maybe it's antivirus for the iPad. Unfortunately, Apple has not let anybody add antivirus to their framework. So in the meantime, this is just a tool for installation, configuration, and troubleshooting of Semantic endpoint protection. We will look at this app in a few minutes. In fact, we're going to look at all the apps in a few minutes. So if I'm going really fast, I just want to get to the meat of it and let's show you what we're doing with these applications. So kind of an overview. Check out the SEP12 app. It is good, especially if you're moving to SEP12 from SEP11. There's a good upgrade guide in there for any environment, whether you're a small business or an enterprise moving to the new SEP12 solution. There's other tools in there as well, such as support. There's knowledge base articles in there. It kind of links directly to Semantic Connect, which we'll also look at the new mobile site for that. There's some videos on upgrade processes, how to do things, and there's just general information regarding requirements and slightly different instructions based on which product that you're upgrading or deploying. So Semantic Connect Mobile, this kind of came out recently, allowing us to search information much easier on your iPad or even your iPhone, it works with any mobile device, so your Android devices as well. A good user interface that's easy to search, easy to just generally browse. So it's great to view Connect articles, forums, blogs, or even potential downloads and all the content right from your mobile device. No more sitting at your computer and reading off of your screen for hours searching for something. If you have an answer, you can respond right from within the app as well. If you log into the web application, then you can actually respond to any questions that might be out there. If you're a frequent responder to questions, get your points up and your status up on Connect. Again, we're going to look at this in just a few minutes. We'll actually go through, and if you have your iPad, join along and we'll look at it together. All right, so here's the stuff that we're talking about. The third-party apps that we can use to actually manage the infrastructure, log in remotely, access our consoles, whether it be your CMS console, your SEPM console, or whatever it may be. We can log in using RDP. If you're already doing that, that's awesome. This is just a general informational session on what you can do to enhance your experience. So we have two RDP clients that I'm gonna talk about. A few of our guys at ITS really like the Wise PocketCloud. It's a great application, and I'm going to show it to you in a few minutes. It allows you to do a lot. You can remote in, you can keep a list of items, there's two options of how you can manage your servers or computers. You can either install a Wise PocketCloud agent on there, which kind of makes it like a log me in or a team viewer application, or you can do direct RDP or VNC into the server as well. You can also take snapshots or screenshots of what's going on. So maybe you have an issue and you need to send it to somebody else. You no longer have to use Snippet from your Windows 7 client or snipping tool and do that. You can take one screenshot and send it right from your iPad. 2X is personally one of my favorites. It's another RDP client. Lets you keep a list of servers or remote desktop sessions that you want to view. And it's very easy interface, not too much to it, very straightforward. So I'm also going to look at that one, whichever one is your preference. And there's tons more out there. These are just suggestions of what we've seen, what we like, and what we've heard other people talk about. So take everything with just a suggestion. If you're using virtual machines as your infrastructure for any Symantec solutions, we can always get into those to those clients via VMware View if you're in a VMware environment, or if you're a Citrix environment, then you may want to use Citrix Receiver for accessing those servers. Again, those might be much more scalable solutions for you in terms of, you can access just a web browser if you want to, or you can actually go in and do a RDP straight from there. So, like I said, the choices are abundant, and they're also up to the individual who is managing the environment. So some more third-party apps that I'm going to go over so far are more, geared towards viewing guides and logs, and maybe even joining one of our webinars remotely, whether it be a Semantic webinar or an ITS webinar. So here are a couple of things that I personally use. I use Adobe Reader. I download the installation guides, the implementation guides, best practice guides. All of those items I download and I keep in a folder on my iPad so that I can view them. And I use Adobe Reader to view them. It's a great tool. You can use search functions right within Adobe Reader on the iPad. So if you're looking for something specific, then we can search for it in any PDF document that's out there. WinZip is great if you're sending logs that you want to review later. Maybe your Altiris logs are blowing up, and you don't really want to sit at your desk and stare at your screen. Maybe you want to review them at home, or maybe you're traveling and you're on a flight. You want to review those logs later. You can always just zip up those logs, email them to yourself, open them right on your iPad, and view them at your leisure from within the WinZip application, or open it with another application that will open the text files. Now again, if you really want to stop viewing your GoToMeeting sessions with us on your desktop or on your laptop, maybe you'll throw it on your iPad and watch us on there. Maybe you're at lunch and you want to join us. Instead of bringing back your lunch and staying stuck at the office, take it with you. Take your iPad to lunch with you and throw your headphones in and watch the webcast or webinar from there. Same thing goes with Symantec. Symantec is a Cisco WebEx user, so any webinars that you're doing with them can be done through the Cisco WebEx client. So now is what you've all been waiting for. I know you're all excited. we're going to take a look at these applications right from my iPad here. So give me 1 second. I'm going to switch over and we'll jump right into it. The first application I think that we'll look at is I'm going to go back and talk some more about the Symantec Mobile Management. So we do have the Symantec Mobile Management agent on here. Again, we're using it for multiple things: to provision the device, to inventory the device, manage the device, etc. We can also push content out to the devices, such as applications that you recommend for your employees, documents. Maybe you want to keep your Symantec management documents right on in the Symantec Mobile Management application, or any other documents that you guys need to push out for your sales department or accounting department, or whatever it may be. We can push out media. One thing that I've seen a lot is companies actually doing a webcast of their meetings, their all hands meetings. So maybe you want to video that all hands meeting, throw it out on your iPad. If you're using Symantec Mobile Management currently, you can throw it out there and your users can watch the stream or the entire video right from their iPad. In terms of actually inventorying your devices, we can pull an abundance of information from the devices. I mean, this is just part of it. If you'd like to see more, you can always schedule a demo or a proof of concept with ITS, and we'll give you some information more on that later. You can also, if you're using it, you see we have DLP is currently turned off for this. You can add the DLP solution in to prevent traffic from exiting the network. Basically, it's enforcing an always-on VPN connection so that anywhere the device is online, it's actually routing all the traffic through your VPN servers to your DLP on the back end, your DLP server, and checking the information that's through that pipeline. If you do something with DLP, then your VPN traffic will be much higher, of course. You'll have a lot more clients connecting into that, and so you just need to make sure that your infrastructure is set up to handle it. So that's the Symantec Mobile Management Agent. Like I said, just a brief overview. This is not a mobile management demo per se. We're just kind of showing some of the applications that are out there. So like I said, if you're more interested in the Symantec Mobile Management, let me know in the questions section, or we'll have some information up. You can write down the ITS number and get in contact with us that way. I'm going to skip over the PGP viewer. That is available if you're a PGP user. You can view information through their secure email, as well as any documents securely through the PGP viewer, encrypted items. The reason I'm not going to show it is I have nothing much to show. We don't have, or at least I don't have it set up for PGP currently, and I need to find out what server, if we have one, has that, or if we're capable of doing that personally. VIP access, I didn't have this in the list. We'll look at it real quick. If you're a VIP user, we can ditch the old little keychain things, and we can have our security codes now on our iDevices, giving you a unique credential and a security code that, of course, changes every 30 seconds. So a cool app if you guys are using different types of authentication, two-factor authentication. This is a great tool. Hopefully you would never lose your iPad. It's a little larger than the keychains that people used to hand out. But if you did, then we can always wipe the device or find another way to secure it. the Symantec SEP app. I know this is what you all have been waiting for. Not antivirus protection for the iPad. Again, this is a guide. It has some good information if you're implementing Semantic Endpoint Protection 12 or upgrading from Semantic Endpoint Protection 11. It's a great tool to kind of go through. You get a good overview of what you need to build your infrastructure for a SEP implementation. Your management server. You can get all the information that you need for that. Your console, as well as your clients. You need to know those are three important things that you need to know when doing an implementation. So Semantic has put together this this nice little application for helping you with that. We have the options of whether we're going to do a new install or an upgrade for both client and server. I won't go into these. The Semantic app, this SEP app, I'm sorry, is free on the iTunes Store, the App Store. You can go ahead and look at that if you're interested in it. I also mentioned that there were a lot of other resources within the app that were pretty cool. We can see kind of a listing of what they've added in SEP over SEP 11. We can also go to the support page, go to Semantic and see different articles that are available, known issues, etc. And we can go to the forums. This is kind of a link to the Semantic Connect site. So this is a little preview right here of what it looks like. If we wanted to maybe go to a different section, we want to do something with endpoint management, and we'll look at the forums and see what's going on. I know somebody that I was working with last week was getting ready to do a lot of stuff with Service Desk. So maybe get on your iPad, and there might be some useful articles or forums for preparation for Service Desk and any issues that you may see. So some good stuff. Like I said, a nice way to view the articles. Very nice interface. If you wanted to reply to something, we'll see that. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at that. I think I'm already logged in. So we'll go back to Endpoint Management. That's the articles. Endpoint Management, Forums, Service Desk, and let's pick one. Maybe we want to answer the question for IE9 and Service Desk SP2. So maybe I want to reply. We'll say, "Hi, Mom." I'm not really going to respond to it, but you can see it's very easy to type in. Click Save. It pushes it up immediately. So cool new things from Semantic that they're pushing out, trying to make it a much more mobile intensive world, or I don't know if intensive is the right word, but acceptable world. Really embracing these mobile devices that are coming out. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the third-party apps. We'll start off with PocketCloud. PocketCloud is again a great application. You can see that I've already entered a connection that I want to connect to my ITMS server. So we'll go ahead and logs me in. So right here I'm on my CMS or ITMS server. We can get right in. We can view our metadata import task. Maybe it wants to be slow because it knows that it's being showed off. So if we needed to make a change, maybe maybe we don't want to pull in our Adobe stuff anymore. We can go ahead and check it and then uncheck it, and now we're I'm not going to pull in those Adobe patches. So that's been saved. You know, again, we can manage manage our computers from here. If you need to assign a task to one of your devices or computers, we can load it up pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and we'll schedule a job. I need to reboot that computer anyways. I think patching just went through. Schedule it now, so so that computer's been rebooted. Great if you know you get a call and you say, hey, you know, the print server is going crazy. Let's go ahead and reboot it. You can do it right from your mobile device here. Some other things about this app that are kind of cool is, like I said, you can take a snapshot. So if I need to take a quick picture, it's going to save it into my photo albums, the photo application native on the iPad itself. We'll say OK. So it's been saved to my pictures. If we go over there and check it, I'm sure it's not lying. There we have it. We just take it and email it to somebody if it's an error message that shows up on the screen. I hope it's not. I hope everything's running smoothly for you. So let's go back and not to that one. You do have a nice keyboard if you need to type in a search for a computer. Other functions, you know, you have your Control-Alt. You can do Control-Alt-Delete. If you need to right-click, if you need to get a little more precise with some of your handling, you can always use the cool little toy here, little mouse pointer. It does do left-click as well. So that's PocketCloud, kind of cool little tool to remote into your computers. Of course, you may need your VPN connection active if your computers are all internal. I know some of you are thinking, like, how are we going to get to it? Yes, so you'll need a VPN connection if those servers are internal, obviously, or you can use the Citrix receiver or VMware View for those items. The other RDP client that I was talking about that I like to use is 2X. It's a great simple tool, not much to it. You can add your servers, edit them right from here. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my password there. It's stored. And let's go ahead and we'll RDP into it. Again, very similar to PocketCloud. It's just a preference on you know, how you want it. You don't have the annoying bar that PocketCloud has that covers the actual screen, and you have to click the drop down each time. It does format the screen very nicely to right here, to the window space that it has, without interfering into this bar down here. Cool tool, especially if you're managing SEPM or something like that, or CMS. You can get into those environments and do what you need to do. So let's move on to some of the other. We don't have a Citrix environment, so I don't have access to kind of show you some of the cool things about that. It's just kind of an honorable mention. Same thing with VMware. I'm sure we do have a VMware environment at ITS. I don't have access to it. That would be our IT department. So let's move on to some of the other tools like Adobe. Go ahead and check that out. You see, I have a few guides in here, and we'll look at the SMP guide. nice view. I'm gonna rotate this. Excuse me. You can look through the document. And I mentioned that there is a search functionality, so we can type right in here. Let's do site server. There we go. So cool little search feature. Of course, there's 843 pages in this, so it does have a lot to search through. Reviewing your guides on here is great. You can take it with you whenever you're physically at a machine, and even whenever you're at home, if you just want to catch up on some good reading, then you can. Who wants to read at home, right? Anyways, moving on to the next app, I had mentioned WinZip was another good application. It works just like WinZip does on your computer. You can't zip files from here, but you can open those zipped archives right from your iPad. Again, you're like, well, what's that useful for? What we've used it and what I've seen people use it for are some of those server logs, semantic logs from the Altiris, all the Altiris logs. You zip them up, throw them in one email, shoot them out, and you're able to open those up and view them at your leisure. The last two items were really the GoToMeeting and WebEx apps. You get the idea. Looks the same as on your desktop, just less clutter because you're watching it on one screen. If you're a GoToMeeting environment as well, you can use the HD faces that's tied into that. So you know, we have some conferences that we run over GoToMeeting, and it's kind of corny, I guess, but we do use the HD faces to communicate to each other. Like I said, we're really spread out at ITS. We're all over the country, so we really like to have that face time to talk and see our peers. So the last thing that I want to show you doesn't really tie all this together, but if you're using ITMS or mobile management, you have workflow, and you can really use these workflows to benefit you in the mobile side, from creating workflow sites to easily administer on your iPad or iPhone or Android device, and take actions on your server. So I've got my iPad enrolled in our mobile management site, and this is a workflow that has been put together that allows us to log in and manage devices. Now, if I were to log in as the administrator for this, then I would have a list of all the devices that are available to me to take actions on the device. So I'm going to log in here. All right, so in here I have a list of, I guess a lot of people are using the same demo account for testing this, but I want to lock specifically my iPad. I could probably lock Pat's iPad or Alan's iPad, but they would probably be upset with me. So I'm going to go ahead and lock mine. So that workflow has been submitted, went through this, the server, and has locked my device. So if you're using mobile management or any other product where you have a workflow to do something, you know, those websites do work great on the iPad as well. The last workflow that I have here is a pretty cool one. Again, if you're using mobile management, you're pulling GPS coordinates from the device. We can use Google Maps to find out where those iPads are currently, or devices in general, not just the iPad. I was pre-logged into this, so don't think, okay, well, why do you have an unsecure? So again, I'm using the built-in Touch API and maneuvering this map around natively. So here's my iPad. It looks like I am in Jacksonville or close to it. We've got some information in here on when it last checked in, and we can look at log in directly to the SMP. Now, little secret. This is unofficial. So Symantec officially only supports IE9. Some items I have found work on Safari on the iPad. However, it is not supported, as it stated just a minute ago. Especially if you're using the enhanced console that runs off of Silverlight. A lot of items run off of Silverlight that is not embedded into the iPad. So, so there are some pages that may work and some pages that do not. Just a full warning there. The bottom line on everything that we've talked about today is that sysadmins always have to be available. Whether you're at home, you get a call, a server's down, maybe you need to access your environment, or even just access your desktop at work. You can get into that and manage whatever you need to right from your iPad. These tools are really valuable to sysadmins to keep your services running all the time, even whenever you're not at the office. You know, if you're a regular employee, you're there 8-9 hours a day. If you're an awesome employee, you're there 10-12 hours plus a day. So even whenever you're not there, we can still manage an environment. There's great Symantec applications that are being developed all the time. Hopefully more to come. You know, maybe one day we'll get to a point where we can manage everything from the iPad natively. That's not the current situation, so we kind of have to find other tools that help us get there. So far, I think we've found some good tools that can help, especially the GoToMeeting, so you guys can watch me and my fellow ITS guys give these webinars. And even the Semantic webinars, don't get me wrong, they're great. Watch those. Get into your environment. Read the guides and logs that you need to. Like I said, even while you're at home. So thank you guys for attending. That's all we have for today. If you have any more questions, please feel free to call us 877-Altiris. We have salespeople that are eager to help you, and I myself and other engineers are as well. You can also check out our website at itsdelivers.com. And if you want to see our previous webinars or videos, find us on Vimeo at vimeo.com/itspartners. We also have some podcasts on iTunes. Please feel free to search for us there as well. We like to stay connected to you guys. And we hope you enjoy the same thing. Again, my name is Brandon Perkins. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and we can't wait to see you for the next webcast. Thank you.